Hello 3D Art. I am going to show you how to get started on your linear toothpick sculpture. Okay, so this project is based on lines. Okay, so each toothpick would represent a line. So I'm going to get started by putting new plastic on this board. Okay, so this is just a piece of plywood. Its only purpose is so that you can glue your toothpicks together on it, and then you can pick this up and move them at the end of the class period to where you need to move them. So I have already peeled off the old plastic. Sometimes people paint on that. I prefer you do not paint on that. Newspaper would be better. But if your plastic does have paint all over it, you're going to need to take it off and put a new piece on. So I already have a piece of plastic cut to fit. It's just slightly larger than my board. So my masking tape was not good, and I'm at home, so I'm going to be using blue tape to tape this on. So we're just going to tape on one side. And I'm getting another piece of tape here. Try to pull it kind of tight if you can. That will make it easier for you to glue your toothpicks together on. And since it's a little bubbly, I am going to go ahead and put a piece on the other side. Okay, so now I have a new piece of plastic on. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to look very pretty. Like I said, this is not part of your project. It's just so that you can move them at the end of the class. So you are going to need 100 toothpicks. I would recommend to make 10 piles of 10. And then once you've got your piles made, you can go ahead and combine them. We are going to start by making shapes. As you can see on this one, it is made with triangles, lots of different triangles. You could use all one shape like this person did, or you could do a bunch of different shapes, whatever you prefer. So I've already made some squares, so I'm going to go ahead and make some more squares. So what you need to do, you're going to need your palette and some Elmer's glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of Elmer's glue in one of my wells on my palette. Maybe if my glue's not clogged. There we go. Okay, just going to put a little Elmer's glue. It doesn't take a whole lot. Okay. So there's my glue right there. If I need more, I can always get some more. So you're going to want to start in a corner of your board. I'm just going to dip the ends of my toothpick in and lay it on the plastic. So the purpose of the plastic is so that you don't glue your toothpicks to the board. Okay, then I'm just going to lay my glued ends together and continue until I've got my shape. Okay, so there's my first square. If you do need to move them, I would do so with another toothpick. So if you just need to slightly adjust them. Otherwise, sometimes our fingers are too big and we mess our shapes up. So there's my first square. Once you are past that point and your squares are dry, you're going to glue them together to make larger shapes. So I might glue 3 squares together like this to make a larger, more complex shape. And to do that, I'm going to apply the glue with another toothpick. And the reason that we use toothpicks rather than the actual glue bottle itself is because when you use the glue bottle, you're going to tend to get way too much glue, and that's going to take away from the aesthetic value of your project, which in turn will make you lose points. So we don't want to do that. So So if you have excess glue, that's not going to look good. So I'm just going to apply the glue with the toothpick to make my larger shapes. Like so. Okay, I need a little glue right there in the middle. Okay, and now I've got my more complex shape. And I could make any type of shape I wanted. Like I said, you could do a bunch of different shapes, or you could do all one shape, whatever you prefer. Once you're past this point and these more complex shapes are dry, then you will go ahead and paint them front and back on newspaper. And you'll also get a wood base, sand it down so it's not splintery, and paint it as well. And then once everything's painted and dried, you will hot glue it 3-dimensionally on your base to complete your project. And that is pretty much it for the toothpick project. Thanks!